great to have MetaCartel, the host here with us today. It's really exciting that we not only coming to Denver, but you hosting us to such a beautiful event.
Hey, we appreciate that you guys showed up in a powerful way. You took over the CBD donut bar and made it your own. So
yeah, we just really want to talk to everyone. But maybe you can tell our audience and community a little bit about MetaCartel to start with.
Yeah, so MetaCartel started as a grant-giving DAO. It was the first fork of Moloch DAO, if you know any of the history. So our founder, Peter Pan, was rejected from joining Moloch DAO. Boo-boo, or sad.
Yeah.
And his buddy Amin said, hey, why don't you just make your own DAO, right? Just fork it. And he said, oh, all right, we should do that. So he created MetaCartel, and he wanted to do a grants-giving DAO. He wanted to create something that was scrappy, and where the people, the early kind of members, will be able to use their skills, use their connections, use their knowledge in the space to help builders who are really developing the ecosystem of Ethereum. Application builders, community builders, all of these kind of things. And it's kind of blossomed into this beautiful ecosystem of projects, partnerships, networks, and connections. So it's thriving, it's alive. You see it here today. We have probably 400 people flown from all over the US, all over the world, to just come and hang out in a brewery with us and jam and chat.
Well, not only that, you guys help fund and really keep the community of Ethereum throughout the market so many years.
Hey, bear market are the best builder times.
I hear
Those
you.
are your soldiers. Those are people who are like, I don't care about price, right? We just want to build cool stuff.
Exactly. But the fact that you guys make MCON to be such a spot and hub for everyone to come together, kudos to you guys. Maybe you said about the grants and the MetaCartel. How is the MCON come to be, right? I see many of your tweets and Medium blog posts, but the backstory is really about you guys having dinner and just coming to Denver for good conversations.
Yeah, it started really small. It actually started with a tweet. It was we should get together. So the whole world shut down for a while, and we travel a lot, right? That's part of our nature is flowing, kind of swarming and connecting in different places as humans need to.
Yeah.
And we were like, well, Denver is one of our homes, Berlin is one of our homes, and Osaka, Japan is one of the homes of the MetaCartel, where the previous events happened, right? MCON 0, 12 guys in a sweaty basement room, right?
Really?
Talking ideas, let's pledge 100 ETH, to join this DAO, right? No big deal.
Yeah.
Not worth a lot of money back then,
Makes sense.
But it kind of, because of, I think, the desire to get together, to come together, to hang out with people, it turned into this thing where we're like, wait, let's make this a DAO event, right? We're so bullish on DAOs, and we are so excited about the technology that DAO, the tools that we're giving people, that we're presenting to them, the community empowerment. And we were like, wait, if we did an event, what would we want it to be? We're like, well, we want all of our DAO homies to come.
For sure.
So this is a pretty DAO exclusive event. You're either launching a DAO, you are a DAO, or you're one of our grantees, which a ton of our grantees have gone on to do big raises, create huge communities. And so now they're kind of paying it back, right? They sponsored the whole event.
Exactly.
So they funded the whole event. And the event itself is a DAO.
Yeah. And what's your own personal journey into for sure everyone has an Ethereum story, right? But this particular DAO and group is still very special. How did you, why are you so part of it to the core, but also stick with it throughout the markets?
Hey, I've been adopted like Oliver Twist, right? I was a bartender, career bartender.
Really?
For, about 10 years.
No way.
Yeah, I worked in LA, I worked in Seattle, I worked in Hawaii. I just love to talk to people. I mean, I'm great at making a cocktail, an amazing old fashioned, my classic cocktail. But I felt like there was a cap on what I could do in that space. And if you've ever been a manager, you know that's not really an upgrade, right? It's just a downgrade and pay and more work. And so I was really looking for something different, and I really wanted something that kind of made me feel inspired, that fulfilled my purpose. And I didn't know what that was back then. But I met some Ethereum people. I quit my job in Seattle and I moved to Spain in 3 days. I sold all my belongings. I lived in a hacker house for 6 months. And I was just red-pilled into the world of Ethereum.
Good one.
I was like, let's go, like I'm ready, right?
Yeah.
I didn't have anything to lose. You can always go back to your job, right? But I was like really ready for a shift.
Yeah.
And I found this amazing community of
Yeah.
people who have resources and connections and networks and who were really caring and considerate to support each other.
Amazing personal journey. So we are kind of going through that too. We want to launch 100 DAOs. Hopefully in coming months, hopefully by the end of next year. What will be your advice for us to think about the human perspective, right? You care about tools, you care about like the platform, but at the end of the day, it's about humans that you understand, that you want to bring the community together. What will be your advice for making the 100 DAOs to be successful?
Wow. So I don't think it's about the amount of DAOs, right? It's a good metric to be able to get there, but it's like, what is the quality of the DAO, right? What are they trying to accomplish? What do they want to do together? And are you creating tools and infrastructure that allow them to do that? Yes. And what does the governance look like, right? What are the incentive mechanisms? How does it flow back and forth? How do you empower the individuals in the community to just lead from the middle, from the back, from the front, without this kind of like rigid structure? I think that's what DAOs are all about. DAOs are just the swarm, right? The hive mind. People coming together and saying like, what can we do together, right? It's like DAOs spin out of things like hackathons, you know, like ETH Denver is a great place.
For sure.
All these different hackathons, ETH Global hackathons, where people come together, they share ideas, and then they just go to build those things, right? So I would say like, find out what it is that the people you're trying to empower with these DAOs want to do. What do they want to accomplish? And then ask them what's missing, right? Is it a treasury? Is it like actual voting? Is it like technical education? Is it community? And then how do you inspire and reward all the levels, right? All of the contribution metrics that that people need to create, make this a sustainable role for themselves, right? And to merge, to just really get rid of the idea of work, right?
Exactly the point.
It's not about work anymore.
It's about contribution.
We want to like collaborate and build together and have this feeling that we're building something that's really revolutionary, that's really going to change things, that's really going to help people in the future. And like, we can do that. We can also make money doing that. We can also raise our families doing that.
Change the world doing it.
Exactly.
So you have just seen how both Ethereum and the DAO space changed the last few years. In a year, what do you wish the DAO space to be? That for sure MetaCartel will be a big part of it, but like even the whole space that we can all work towards too.
I want to see the biggest players in the Ethereum community be launching and empowering DAOs. To have small working teams that are DAOs, right? To have their own treasuries, their own multi-sigs, and to be able to use the technology to allow the swarm to move in the direction it wants. I think we should launch 100, 100,000 more DAOs, and that we should really kind of pay homage, right? To the DAO as an idea. All these projects, all these companies, all these massive makers, Aves, Yearns, like we want to see them give the power, give the structure over to the community in these ways, and just really kind of have this natural evolution, right? From these centralized teams, these structures, to these kind of like transient groups that are contributing and they're coming in and out, and to really like I said, get rid of the idea of work, right? You don't just work at this place. You are able to freely contribute on all the projects you want. And it's really about, at the end of the day, are you showing up, right, for the community and are you doing the things you said you're going to do? Like Raid Guild, a DAO we launched at Ethereum Denver last year, is one of the greatest examples, right? It was started as a developer DAO, right? We call ourselves Web3 mercenaries. So we were like, we can do anything in Web3. We can build it, right? And it turned into like, we have a marketing arm, we have a branding arm, we have a design arm, like all of these things. But the whole thing was developed as a game. We're playing a game. We have roles. I'm the tavern keeper, right? We got archers and raiders and necromancers. And it's all these fun games and terminology that kind of help us bond together. And we call all of our projects like raids. So we're going on a raid, right? Or we're doing a rip. It's an internal project for ourselves.
That's great cultural code that you are able to codify.
Cultural cult.
Yeah, or cults, not just cult. But like the culture is really hard on chain, right? On Discord all day, but be able to like have a name that you guys all bond together.
Yeah, and I think it's like with that specifically, like I contribute to MetaCartel, Raid Guild, Panvala, Gitcoin, but no one ever says to me like, hey, you're working too much on that thing and we need you to come back over here. It's just like, flow where you want to go, right? And I'm like, when you need me, I'll be here, right? And so I think that's the level of like contribution that I want to see other people. I want to see people be free to like follow their inspiration, to go work on things. We've seen people come into Raid Guild, create powerful, impact, and then flow off to another project. And we're like, awesome, be free, right? If you love something, set it free.
Yeah. So last question would be, how can harmony be helpful?
How can harmony be helpful? You've started here today, like showing up, asking questions, participating. I mean, we have a loot holder program at the MetaCartel. We're super excited to align, right, with values-driven organizations like yourself.
Absolutely.
And we can learn together, right? We can build together. We can align communities. And so we can do everything stronger together. The motto of MetaCartel is, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So let's go together.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Really great chat.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love it.
Yes.